Hi, I'm Lloyd from Bumstead Bicycles, and if you would hit this like and subscribe, it always helps for our channel. Doesn't hurt too much, just press a couple of buttons. And anyway, I wanted to do a video today on SRAM's new transmission drivetrain system. I love the fact of why they call it the transmission, and they explain it that an automatic transmission on your car is a conglomerate of a bunch of parts that all have to mesh together for that transmission to work properly. And you can't take transmission parts from other transmissions and mix them all up and make it work properly. And so the engineers that designed this said you have to use the derailleur, the cassette, the chain, the cranks, the complete, all of those work together for it to work properly. And for years, Shimano's been kind of trying to say that, you know, when you put a SRAM chain on a Shimano drivetrain, Shimano guys would just not like it. And in this instance, hey, there's our kitty cat Skids, shop cat. I know a lot of people like to know if you have an animal in your shop, and that's Skids or shop kit. Anyway, back to the point here. SRAM on this calls their different groups transmission. The biggest groundbreaking thing to this whole system is the way the derailleur is mounted to the frame. A few years ago, they put out a derailleur hanger because almost all the new mountain bikes have what's called a through axle. It's a big hollow axle that mounts through the rear wheel and screws directly into the frame. The old days of quick release, long gone. So derailleur hangers have just been a mess over the past 10, 15 years. We've gone from a couple designs to over 300 different kinds of hangers. So SRAM came out with a new hanger that mounts very cleanly to through axle bikes, especially the Boost stuff. And knowing that at some point they were going to come out with a derailleur that mounts directly to the frame. And since so many frame manufacturers had adopted their universal hanger, just made for an easy swap. So instead of this derailleur mounting to a hanger, it clamps on two sides directly to the frame. What that does is it makes for just a bulletproof, strong as strong can be, connection between the derailleur and the frame. They also made it so the whole thing is rebuildable. If a part does break, you don't have to buy a whole new derailleur. All of the parts individually, easily replaced. What this mounting system and electronic shifting do is make the shifting just flawless. Very, very little adjustment. Very, very minor. It bolts up, it goes. Thing to remember, you need a new chain, you need a cassette, you have to buy the corresponding cassette and chain to your transmission. Groundbreaking though, I gotta hand it to them. That I haven't seen something in derailleur advancement as groundbreaking as this in years. I mean, I go way back. I remember the first rapid fire shifters from Shimano. That was life-changing. Holy man, life-changing. This, it's gonna put mechanics out of business almost. It just works so flawlessly. It's so strong. You can find on the internet videos of guys stomping on this, trying to break it. It is so strong, and it just shifts flawlessly. So if you're in the market, if you have a bike that this will bolt to, not wanting to buy a new bike and you want to upgrade, they have all different levels for all different price points. Well worth it. One of the interesting things, let's move from the derailleur. So you've got the system is the derailleur, the cassette, the chain, and the cranks. One of my other things, got to move up, and then as the electronic shifter. Personal thing here, a lot of them will mount to the brake lever, and This is newer from their other AXS. I really like this pod shifter. The ergonomics of it are amazing. My only recommendation is to get the independent clamp versus having the shifter mounted to the brake lever. I just don't feel I can get this shifter in the spot that I want personally. With this adjustment, you're limited, where if you get the clamp where this is independently clamped from the brake lever, I think is a huge upgrade. You can really move this just exactly where you want it. I just find ergonomically, when you're gripping the handlebars, you're using the brakes, you want this to be able to, your thumb to be able to grab it and hit it without releasing too much of a grip. If you have to go too high, too far over, not good. When you're blasting down a hill and you need to grab another gear, the quicker and least amount of movement of your thumb, the better. That's probably my only, but I love the shape of this, the tactile feel of the buttons, amazing. My only recommendation is bolt this up separate. Again, if you're interested in upgrading your drivetrain, look at this new transmission. It is amazing.